Yo, what's going on, lads? Platty, and this is Kumaverse Genesis. So, actually, before I get into it all, I guess you will notice that my screen's a little bit different. I moved over to my old monitor, and this is just a 1080p. It's no longer an ultra wide, so the video should be a little bit better quality until I work out how to get ultra wides and YouTube to work well. It's been about 2 or 3 years since I was YouTubing professionally, so I'll just if I'm going to continue to do this, I'll put a little bit more effort into it in the future. Anyway, moving on to Kumaverse, and the reason why I'm making this video is because I'm seeing a lot of talk about how to pump the floor price, essentially. And I think it's misguided at the moment, or it's not so much well-intentioned. It's more of a selfish outlook, but it's short-term. You know, I'm a very selfish person and I want this price to pump as well, but you can't do it at the expense of the long-term foundation of this project. So basically the suggestions have been around the ideas of hard staking and basically locking up supply in some ways, buybacks or some stupid shit like that. And you kind of have to maybe go back and look at the history of Kumaverse to maybe see what I see and why I think it's a silly idea. Basically, we'll come over here first. And never sold since minted. 28% of the people in this collection minted this project, guys. They have a floor price of, or a buy-in price of 0.05. You know, we're happy with where this price is. You know, and I say that as a minter. You know, this floor price does not scare me. Why would it? I'm still in profit, right? Now, I also bought a couple of bears that I like up here at 0.3, right? And 0.24, I believe, as well. So I'm still invested in this project. I'm underwater. Like, no, actually, no, I'm probably breaking even just now. But if I only cared about the ones that I bought up here, I might have a similar reaction to some of the people that are suggesting these courses of action. And here's what's going to happen if we do that, right? So going back to the very first days of Kumaverse, right? You see it here. And we mint, and we have a really successful mint. You know, I ended up minting the second, I believe. I got my bears and I went to bed. And then the next day we had the public mint, and I forgot to wake up for it and I wasn't there, but it doesn't matter because we essentially minted out within seconds. It ended up getting botted, essentially, I think. I believe it was 5, maybe 10 limit per wallet. But then after that, we have a little bit of a lift off here, right? Sends us up to 0.2, and that's where we probably should have naturally went. You know, that's a 4x. That's where people were taking profits, and people took some profits, and then we rebounded. And this is where everything goes a little bit pear-shaped, right? And it's pear-shaped for the people who want the artificial pump now, right? What is this? This is one person, a whale, coming in and sweeping 150. I'm pretty sure Metal swept 150 on this day, right? I believe he sweeps another 20 somewhere else, but that might have been here. I can't recall where he picked up the other 20. But he causes this artificial pump, right? And it's just parabolic. It's through the roof. And then after all of these listings have been chewed out, there's just this big massive gap here. But what happens? People see that it gone to this, and they think that they can keep selling for this price, so they list up here. Meanwhile, there's no one behind Metal to come in and buy anything higher than that. No one else is paying attention to it, right? So the price immediately falls like a rock all the way back down to basically where Metal bought. And it does it within an hour or two. Metal buys at 9:30, 10:20 he's finished, and by 12:20 it's done. 2 hours, man. That's how short-lived this artificial pump was. 2 hours it took for the listings to come in to undercut each other to the point of going back to where the value was. Right. Anyway, we bounce back up and come back and do the thing. This is 9gag in here. 9gag just comes in and buys a massive wall. All right. And then what does 9gag do? Well, he tweets about it. That's what 9gag does. He tweets when he buys stuff. It's what we all do. We all tweet when we buy shit. You know, it's just that when 9gag does it to like 10 million people or whatever it is that follow him. Actually, I don't think he has that many followers on Twitter, but he's got a fair few. All these people buy in like crazy. Yeah. And why are they buying in? How much research did they do on the project before they bought in? Did they check that it had a white paper? Did they check the tokenomics? Did they check anything about it? Or did they just go, the Twitter say 9gag by Kumaverse? I buy now. Yeah. Packs go up. Happy. Packs go up really high. I'm very happy. But it's not sustainable, guys. Like these people are delusional, thinking that 9gag is giving them alpha or something like that. It's not. You are so late to the party if you see it on Twitter. Right? You're so late to the party if you see it on Discord servers in alpha communities. You're even way later to the party if it's on like actual 10k collection Discords. All right. Smart money got in over here, or they bought here, or they bought here. You know, these dudes, they're just exit liquidity, man. So if you bought up here and you're feeling really bad right now, it's because you are exit liquidity. And that's what's ruling your emotions. And you might not be able to pinpoint it because you don't maybe realize that you are exit liquidity. So if you're one of the people who bought up here and you're taking offense at my words or something like that, maybe like check and see, like, is what I'm saying true? Is when you are underwater, you start looking for reasons to pump a price or start trying to freak out, essentially. And it's because you didn't know what you're buying. You like, I bought a degen play yesterday. I didn't know what it was. They were cool little mechs that looked awesome. And guess what? It was a soul ripoff. It got delisted from OpenSea. Oh well, shit happens. You know, I lost my money. But that's the game we're playing, guys. And if you don't realize that that is the game, then you're going to get wrecked. You know? So when 9gag tweeted this, you should have waited. You should have been like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where it goes. And does someone else tweet after him? Okay. Does someone else do it as well? Okay, this might have legs. This might be like an OK Bear situation. Right? Where all the fucking influencers start getting on board and shilling it proper. And then it's not so much unsustainable as it's just waiting for the influencers to be done with their chum pit. You know? Like this is 9gag's chum pit. This was created by 9gag and his tweet, you know, and all these people bought in on it. Yeah. And, you know, was it sustainable? Nope. And I can almost guarantee you that all these people in here that are selling, you know, selling to these purple dots, which are the notable buyers inside this collection. I'm one of these purple dots, boys. Which one am I? Where did I buy back in? You know? I bought in the 3 range. Oh, my son's here. 1 second. Okay, hopefully I'm all good and my son didn't ruin my video. I was talking about the chum pit, right? So basically, the downtrend is the same thing that I'm seeing in PXN, right? And the reason for that is you can see it here, right? On the 14th, 30 people sold for profit, 10 sold for losses, right? But then as we continue, it's 16 for profit, 14 for losses, 15, 19. That's like what capitulation looks like. 9 sold for profit, 11 loss, 6 for profit, 4 as a loss, 14 as a loss, 7 for profit. So you can see that the goblin hands are being weirded out right now. They're selling for losses. 28% of us haven't sold since mint. We're strong right there. Purple dots, buying up above the floor. All right, what are we buying? Yeah, what is happening on this chart? Come over to here. What are we buying? All the rares, all the good looking ones. We're cherry picking what we want. All right. So if I own 6 of these, why wouldn't I buy 8 of these? Why wouldn't I buy 9? Why wouldn't I buy 10? What are we doing? We're accumulating, right? So if this causes this, what happens when we have things like artificial pumps from doing supply shock lockup staking, right? You know, it's being suggested over at Neo Tokyo, you have to stake to earn your bytes. Okay, cool. Guess what that does? It supply shocks your market, gives you a very high inflated price that isn't sustainable and will crash as soon as there's a slightest bit of bad news. All right. So instead of allowing these people to stay listed and still earn their pour, you know, and doesn't really make some massive change to the amount of listings, it doesn't cause this artificial supply shock that makes everyone unstake and dump it on the market, crashing your price, making it extremely volatile, meaning people don't know when to invest because they don't feel safe, right? So every massive up that you try to force will have a massive down in reply to it. Yeah, this is just the natural state of things, guys. This is just the equilibrium between goblins and minters. You know, we're strong, boys. There's 30% of us that believe in this project, or at least 30 units being held by diamond hands. You know, and 40% of us are in profit. These are good statistics, guys. I'm happy with this. I'm not freaking out over this. You know, it only takes like 10 ETH coming in, or actually, yeah, it's like 30 ETH to move this entire project. 30 ETH ain't much, boys. So if you believe in this project, if you're enjoying yourself in the Discord, if you're having fun, you know, then just chill. There's no need to try and artificially pump this because you're just being selfish in a sense. You don't believe in the project long term. You're a goblin, essentially. You're a goblin that's greedy and doesn't want to sell down here, wants to sell up here. To me, I just say, grab the Kumas that you love. You know, I'm looking at this dude right here. I'm looking at McDonald's guy. Looking at these 3. You know, if any of these guys drop the price on that, I'm there. You know, but I don't have to buy. This is a buyer's market. Sellers are getting screwed right now because they're undercutting themselves, because they're afraid, because they don't really understand what's going on. This bleeds until there's just belief in the project left over. And when there's belief left over, that's when you'll go up. Now, that's not saying that this can't go to 0 because no one believes in the team no more. But in my opinion, man, all this is doing is finding its natural floor, right? Which will be around this point because there's been no attention since the 9gag tweet. Right? It's been 2 weeks, boys. 2 weeks. And that's the other thing, right? Like, it's been 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks. And we're trying to pump the floor for no reason. Like, you need legitimate adoption of your project, or there's nothing there. And when the curtain is pulled and there's nothing there, what do you see? The price fall on its ass. So please, can we just not talk about artificially pumping and actually go out there, build community, go out there, help our fellow Kumas, you know, have fun, show people that you're having fun, you know, show people your wins. That's a much better way, because then you're showing the rest of the world that there is value to own an Akuma. And it's just not bullshit pump and dump tactics. You know, there's actually a reason to be inside of our community, because the community itself is fun, right? I have communities that I'm in because they're fun. And one of them is Kumaverse. So if you don't like the floor price, sell because you can't handle it. If the floor price doesn't matter, I'll see you in 2 weeks when the banners are dropped and you're making profits. Congratulations, guys. You were smart and held on and waited for the team to actually do something on their roadmap that will bring attention to the project, bring more eyes, more buyers, more people want to join the community because of you guys in it. That's the recipe. Now we just have to cook it up. Peace.